listening to you, I just wanted to let you know that on my Patreon, I just went over and shared with the Patreon family the importance of discovering your soul signals. If you're not aware of your soul signals, you're going to make decisions based upon how you feel, and sometimes how you're feeling isn't necessarily what it is you're thinking it is. We have soul signals in our souls that tend to rise when we are under pressure, when we are under, let's just say, under stress, under fury, under upset. And when we get in that fury and upset, we have a tendency to not know what to do or how to do it or how we're going to focus on improving something when we're going through it. So I just wanted to let you know really quick. Go over to my Patreon. It's under Carla Nicole, where I talk about how to discover your soul signals. What are soul signals? Let me give it to you just really briefly. We have four soul signals that we can possibly have, that, well, we have all access to all of the signals, but in our spirit we have a tendency to usually have a major one rise to the surface when we are dealing with something challenging, hurtful, upsetting, disappointing, or whatever. So with that said, those different soul signals could be, we're a soul ember, which is someone who's fiery, someone who's really passionate. We can be a soul luster, which is someone that is very emotionally driven. They have a clarity. They love to be clairvoyant. They're big about how do I become the best version of myself. We have the soul still, which is like me, myself, and I. I'm a soul still, so when I'm going through a pressure or going through some stressors or upset, I tend to get quiet. Then I do this inner scanning to figure out what's going on with me. How do I feel? What do I got going on? How do I deal with this? And then if you are a soul ember, which is someone that's hot and bothered or they get fiery, then you need to figure out, well, why am I fiery? Why am I hot? Why am I always upset? Well, those are the reasons, because there's different times for different reasons that you're going to feel a way because of what you're dealing with and going through. So when we're dealing with soul signals, we have a tendency to get into different rages or feelings based upon what we're going through. We don't realize how crazy it is when someone is feeling upset. When we're disappointed, we get upset and disappointed, yes, but we have to realize in that disappointment, it's coming from something. We all have soul signals, so we can be very fiery. So sometimes if you are a road rager, and see, I do door dashing, so I can get upset when someone's trailing me or, acting a fool or yelling or whatever. I can get upset quick. That means my soul signal in my spirit is my soul ember. Soul ember is a flame. It's when you're hot, when you're angry, when you're passionate. That soul signal is something that can drive me into a passionate rage, or it can drive me into a passion to lead. So that is something I need to understand about self. And then also, hey, Dailies, and then also I may have moments when I'm a soul luster. So a soul luster is when I always describe it as being like like almost like you're a crystal. So when you have a crystal in your hand, you can feel it being like radiant. So a soul luster is someone that's radiant and passionate, and they're always on the rise of trying to be the best version of their self. And in that particular way, their soul signal, when they feel a way or when they feel something coming, they go into an action drive, and they're really in passion to get stuff done and moved. So those people that are soul lusters, they are going to be someone that's passionate. If you want to know anything about this, you can go over to my Patreon and learn about it, and I will give you all that you need to know. I had a whole live on Equip just a minute ago going through all of each of these. The third one is a soul still, which is what I am. I'm a soul still. So soul still means that I'm someone that doesn't, I do more inner scanning. when I'm going through an upset or a disappointment, or if I'm feeling away. I am someone, hold on, baby, baby. I am someone who is going to be more quiet. I'm going to find myself to be more tight lipped, because when I'm going through something that I'm not aware of, then I have to figure out, well, how do I deal with this? I am a soul still. So when I'm a soul still, I have to be understanding of the fact that, okay, knowing that I'm going to do some scanning in my soul when I'm dealing with something I'm not ready for, especially if you're talking about grief, pain, sadness, disappointment, loss. All of that is going to cause me to run into being a soul still. And that's what I am. That's my primary signal for me. And last but not least is the complete opposite of me, is the soul wander. So the soul wander is someone that's explorative. So that means if that person is going through a pressure cooker or something that's crazy and something has happened and they're not ready to deal with it, they run. They go into a different explorative way of being. They jump ship. They try to see what's the next better option. How can I deal with this in a better way? They are soul wanders. Soul wanders are people that are different because they're explorative. They want to see, well, how can I fix this? I don't want to stay in this stillness. I want to go and see what it is and see what's going on and what's causing me to feel a way about what I got going on. So I want to find a better way. So in that way of being, they rush out and they don't have it to do. So they just jump ship and they're gone. So out of those four soul signals, you can find out just for $10 what your actual soul signal is. When you understand and learn about you, this is how you learn to develop a higher level of love with yourself. When we learn to love ourselves, we become better lovers, we become better mothers and fathers, we become better friends, we become better parents and children. We become better when we learn about our soul. When we discover our own way of being and how we deal and cope with certain things, we learn how we can curb the way we react, the way we respond, and the way we resolve things. And a lot of times we don't want to talk about this, but the truth of the matter is, when we have no knowledge of self, things will come and rise in our spirit, and we don't understand, why is it every time I have a feeling something's going to happen, it happens? Well, you're most likely a soul luster. A soul luster is very clairvoyant. There's someone that has that radiance about them, but they're able to pick up different inklings that other people can't see. So they'll be in a scenario, and the next thing they know, they're like, you know what? After looking at this, I'm realizing that I should have been doing this, and I'm noticing that they're doing that instead. Well, right, because you're a soul luster and you have a different type of perception ability, what we call clairvoyance, to your soul and your spirit. So because of that gift, you're normally the person that's going to be sought after when something crazy is going on. People are going to come to you like, hey, can you explain to me what's going on? I don't know. Da, da, da. So this is something that you want to learn about you in order to improve having better love affairs, in order to improve your parenting with your kids, in order to improve your taking care of elder parents. All of these things, in order to improve that, you've got to learn to start discovering how to learn about yourself. When we learn about ourselves, we start to understanding ourselves, and in understanding, we start to be able to describe to other people what to expect in being close in proximity of us, having access to us, being intimate with us. We can be more vocal and be more accurate by explaining to the person or the kids or the family members, this is who I am. Don't take everything so damn personal. I am a soul still. So that means that if something is going crazy and it's something I don't understand, you're not going to get a lot of talking out of me. That doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means that that's how I'm coping. That's the way my soul is made. Now, I gave you all of that to explain to you that in us understanding and learning about our soul signals, we also have a way to now activate other parts of our soul signals that we don't usually, I would say, end up going back to or going to or falling back on. We don't tend to be soul embers because we're not fiery, we're not passionate, we don't really get hot. We just are kind of on an even keel. Well, then learn how to activate that. How do I learn to get more passionate? What do I do? How does that happen? Well, you have to first learn how to become more curious. Passion comes from curiosity. When you start to get curious about things, you start to learning about things, you start wondering about things, then you start to get more involved in things, and then you start to wonder, oh, this is how it happens. This is how I go to the next level. Yes. So in order for you to understand that, this is how we get there. So again, understand, I'm just telling you, the more you want to learn about your own soul signals, the better. Become a member of my Patreon. It's Carla Nicole. Like I said, when you do this Patreon, Discover Your Soul Signals, it's $10. So you're going to learn just off the very cuff, what is my actual soul signal? You spend $10 on nonsense. Why not spend and invest in yourself and find out, why am I doing what I do? And in understanding me, I'm understanding myself. And now in that understanding, I'm now going to find more understanding about how I love someone else. And am I drawn to more of a soul ember person? Am I more into understanding someone more that's a wanderer? Am I more attracted to that because I'm not? These are things you can start to take yourself on a journey with when you start to learning more about your actual soul signals. It's the power by learning about ourselves. Trust me, I'm telling you, it's not easy, but it's definitely soul searching and soul soothing when you start to learning about you. Trust me, I'm just telling you. So go over to Patreon. Like I said, I have like a 30-minute video over there. It may be still processing, but you can go over there to my Patreon, join it, and become a member. I have a dollar membership, $3 membership, $11 membership that you can join and understand different things for different reasons to help to improve loving you, learning you, getting more involved with you, being more intimate with you. This is how you improve your relationships. The first relationship that we must invest in is the one within ourselves. Because no matter what woman or man or kid or family member you're involved with, you have to take you with you. So it would serve you best to learn the most you can about yourself. Learning about self is a part of loving yourself. You can't go and just say, oh yeah, I'll just do whatever. No, you have to learn about you. And when you do this, you'll find a more enjoyable feeling about self-loving. Again, I'm out of here, guys. I just wanted to share that with you. Share this video, become a subscriber. Don't forget to join Patreon and get over there and discover your soul signals. Because when you know for sure what your soul signals are, you will also know your secondary soul signal. I didn't tell you that at first, but I'm going to give it all to you. Don't give it all away. But when you learn your primary soul signal and then you learn your secondary soul signal, it's going to give you a lot more insight about how you handle things when you're under pressure. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Enjoy your Sunday. Have a good night.